Hey everybody, welcome back to another action figure review, G.I.Joe Classified Edition. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Python Patrol Copperhead. And Copperhead, we've already seen the original Copperhead release. Unfortunately, he did not come with a water moccasin. And I will be reviewing that figure at some point when I get to that number and the order. He'll probably be a blast from the past review, so at the rate I'm going through them, you probably won't see him until sometime next year. But for now, we'll take a look at the Python Patrol version. There's not a lot of difference. In fact, with the accessories, there's no difference whatsoever. The only real difference is paint. He's basically a repaint. Now, one Copperhead, who was part of the original Python Patrol in 1989, when he was released, he was the only unique figure amongst the 6 of that wave, and that was the only way that was released in the original A Real American Hero action figure line. So a lot of people, myself included, used him as the de facto leader of Python Patrol, since he was the only unique figure. In 2003, Hasbro, in conjunction with Toys R Us, released a Python Patrol 6-pack exclusive, which included a Python Patrol version of Major Blood. So at that point, he would have taken over as the leader of Python Patrol, I imagine. But we don't have a Python Patrol Major Blood yet, so for now, Copperhead seems the best choice for the de facto leader. Since we've gotten a Python Patrol Bat, which was never done previously, we could also get Python Patrol versions of other characters we hadn't gotten previously, like a Python Patrol Baroness or Destro or even Cobra Commander. I think any one of those would be a cool idea and really flesh out Python Patrol more. Plus, it would be fitting since we've got Tiger Force, Duke, and Flint. So why wouldn't we have? They're 2 of the leaders of G.I.Joe. Why wouldn't we have Cobra Commander and Destro in Python Patrol colors? So anyway, let's take a look at the box here. We got the product shot here with a pyramid of some sort in the background. I think that is a reference to one of the cartoon episodes. In fact, Copperhead wasn't in very many. That's probably a reference to one of the ones that he was in. Now, in his Python guys, I think he only ever appeared in the Deke cartoon and the Python guys. I think that's when the Python Patrol came out in the cartoon. It was for the Deke cartoons. It wasn't in the Sunbow stuff, obviously, since Sunbow stopped after the movie in 1987, and the Python Patrol didn't debut until 2 years later. So that might have been an episode of the Deke cartoon. I'm not that familiar with it because I never liked it. I still enjoy the Sunbow cartoon every now and then, but the Deke just never liked it, never enjoyed it, even as a kid. Actually, I wasn't quite a kid when it first came out, and what was it? Was it 89 that Deke started? I can't remember when it started, but I remember watching Operation Dragon Heart, Dragonfly. I can't remember. The 5-part miniseries that started the Deke cartoon. I remember watching that and thinking, this sucks. So after that was over, I never went back, so I never saw any of the other episodes. But anyway, we got the ribbon here with his accessories, picture of Copperhead artwork there, G.I.Joe Classified Series, Cobra Copperhead, Classified Series, Legalese, bigger shot of the cover art, number 96 in the line. There's a QR code and his file card info, with a bigger shot of the file card info. 6'4" is Copperhead's height. There's all his accessories. Got close-up of the Python Patrol patch on his chest and his belt buckle there, which is kind of cool. It's a skull with like chains wrapped around it, or wrapped around behind it. More legalese, and I mentioned the Hong Kong sticker on the Cobra Trooper, Python Patrol Cobra Trooper review. And this is the only other character I've ever received that had that sticker. So, let's take a look at the figure now. And as you can see, Copperhead is mostly black with some greens and yellows. And he's got a little bit of red there as well. And of course his belt buckle's nice gold. So they got some decent paint apps on here. Could have done with a few more. He's also got that nice looking Python Patrol symbol there. In fact, you can move this around so you can see it better. There we go. Now that fits better on his chest, in fact. And this can slide down here to give him more of the look that he has on the box. For overlays, he's got this gun holster on his side, his right thigh here. He also has this part of the belt. This part with the belt buckle is sculpted, but this part sloping down with the machete sheath is an overlay. And you saw me move this around, so you know that is an overlay. Lastly, for some freaking reason, they made these overlays. I don't know why. I mean, his arms are clearly reused, so that's probably why. If they had sculpted them on, then it would have looked weird on the other figures that use these arms, but they could have glued them. That would have made so much more sense. These things fall down all the damn time, especially this one. It's so annoying. Which is weird because my other Copperhead, you know, the original colors, I didn't have a problem with those because that one's got these too, but they didn't fall down all the time on the original. So I don't know why they're so much looser on the Python Patrol version. When I get to the point where I'm, like right now I've got him stored in box because I've got the original one out and I don't have the space to show, to display all my figures. So I got the excess troop builders and the repaints boxed up. When I do get around to finally displaying the Python Patrol, including him, I'll probably just take those two overlay straps off and stick them in the box and leave them there. Because they really annoy the hell out of me. But yeah, he's got the black tank top, kind of. And underneath, he's got the Pythonized, like, bodysuit type thing. And then he's wearing his underwear over top of his pants, like Superman. And he's got those green pants with the yellow inside and the black on the outside. He's got black sculpted boots. Right there. He's got black gloves with some red. The camera won't show it now. The wrist pieces actually are part of the sculpt, so those don't come off. Then you don't have to worry about those falling off on you. And then, of course, his head, you got that same crazed look that the original had. He's got the yellow helmet with the black mask, and the black edges, and the black on the top here. And then that red, like, rebreather, I guess. He's got hooked into the front of the mask. And of course his neck is black, which is kind of weird because, like, what's he wearing under that mask? I mean, it wouldn't have made more sense for the neck to match the shirt, the Pythonized shirt he's got underneath rather than the tank top. So he's wearing something underneath this shirt. He's wearing a tank top, over top the Pythonized jumpsuit, over top some kind of black, like, wetsuit or something. I don't know. This guy must get really hot in the summertime. All right. So going over articulation, he can look down about that far, and can look up about that far. He does have, or he can do the Exorcist rather. He's got some tilt. His arm goes all the way around, no problem. It does have a butterfly joint. It can hinge up a little bit more than 90. He got the bicep cut. He's got double jointed pinless arms. And if you get that stupid thing out of the way. Yeah. You get a little bit more than 90, but not much, because his bicep kind of gets in the way there. He's got the vertical hinge there on his right hand and on his left. And as you can see, this one's already falling down. He's got an ab crunch, and because he's got this non-intrusive gun holster here, you can get good use out of it. He can go forward about this far here, and he can go back about this far. He can turn at the waist. He's got some ratcheting there, as you can hear. He's got some tilt around the waist there. He can get the Van Damme splits quite easily. And he can kick out about that far, and kick back about that far. He does have a thigh cut, double jointed, pinless legs, pinless knees, boot cut. His boot can hinge back that far, and hinge forward that far. He's got rocker and peg holes on the bottom. Accessories wise, he doesn't come with much. He does come with this nice gun holster that fits onto his back, and he's even got the 6 bullets attached, all nicely painted on the bottom there, although not on the top, unfortunately. I guess the paint budget only went so far. And this holster goes with this gun. It's a nice like 357 or 44 Magnum style handgun, revolver. And it's got a scope on it as well. I've never seen a revolver with a scope in my life. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I've never seen one until this figure. It also has a peg hole in the front for blast effects. Got some nice paint on there. It's got a nice golden color on the gun itself, and then the handle and the scope are both painted black. And you can slide that on in here. And that brings me to my second gripe about this figure after the stupid armbands, is these peg holes do not fit in very easily. Now, if the gun isn't in here, then it gets in really nice and easily, because you got more ability to push it down in there. But once the gun is in, the gun gets in the way of really being able to push down on it to get it in there. And of course the end of it just hits the solid piece of plastic that's now inside, so it won't go through the hole. I think a better way to do this would be to have the hole be in the strap itself, and then the peg sticking out of the where the hole is here. So you have the peg sticking out of here, and then a hole in the strap, and then you can just fit the strap around the peg. That way you can still push it down even if the gun is in the holster. So yeah, it's hard to get that to stay in, but that is a cakewalk compared to the next holster, which holds this gun. And this kind of looks like a Luger sort of, or maybe a Walther PPK, kind of in the same design. This gun does not have a peg hole in the front for blast effects. It's a lot smaller than the other one. But that one fits in his leg holster right here. And the peg on that one. Okay, that one actually goes in pretty well. Okay. Maybe it is the one on the back that I have the most problems with. Well, that gun is smaller, so even when it's in the holster, you still got some pretty good give here. So you can shove the peg into the hole easier. But so far they're both holding, so that's nice. Lastly, he comes with this machete. There we go. And as you can see, there's some, it's a silver painted blade, but it also has some like rust color on the blade itself, which is nice dried blood effect probably. And this is one of the first characters, I believe, in the line that's had dried blood effect on his weapons, or accessories rather. I think the big boa that's coming out has blood on the fists of the figure, on the wraps. I think there's blood on those as well. But this figure came out first, so pretty sure this is the first instance of any kind of blood effect being used on a weapon for classified. And of course it's got the black handle there. And that can slide in on his belt here. You've just got to work it in there because of the design of the sheath and the curve of the machete. It's got to be careful when you're sliding it in there. And yeah, both of these things fell down again. Yeah. Stupid idea not to glue these down, Hasbro. And there we have Copperhead, Python Patrol de facto leader. In my opinion anyway, since he's the only unique character amongst the 7 that we have so far. Not a bad repaint. I prefer the original, obviously. I prefer the original to any of the Python Patrol repaints, honestly. But still waiting to get his water moccasin. That would be nice. But Hasbro has a... Well, they've included a figure with every vehicle that they put into the line so far. So I'm just wondering if they ever do release the water moccasin, who will it come with? Will they give us a repainted version of Copperhead? Maybe like a black, like a mostly black version, like a Night Force type. I know Cobra doesn't have a Night Force, but a Night Force style, like the Night Viper or the Range Viper style suit for Copperhead for that release. Or maybe they'll give us a Crimson Copperhead. They go with the Crimson Strike Team and all the Crimson colored guys. I don't know. Or maybe they'll just give us the original Copperhead again. And people who got the single figure will be stuck with 2. Or they could just give us an entirely new character with the moccasin. And then we can put our Copperhead in the driver's seat and stick that guy in the gunner's seat. So that would be kind of cool if they did that. But would like to see the moccasin in the line. I'd even be up for a Python Patrol repaint of the moccasin. I'm waiting to see if they'll do a Python Patrol repaint of some of the other vehicles that we haven't gotten. Like, we haven't gotten a Python Patrol. We've got a Python Patrol Trouble Bubble, but we haven't gotten like a Python Patrol Ram or anything like that. I'm curious to see if vehicles will cross factions. Like, we know the Vamp will likely cross factions. They'll make a Stinger version of the Vamp. But so far the Ram, the Quail, and the Trouble Bubble haven't crossed factions. They've remained either Cobra or G.I. Joe. The Ferret, which is coming soon, that should also cross factions when they make the Tiger Paw version. But there's still an option to make a Cobra version of the Vamp or the Ram. Although I can't see them making a Joe version of the Trouble Bubble. That'd be weird. It'd be weird seeing Joes flying or having their own Cobra Flight Pod style vehicle. It's never been done before. That's why it just feel weird. The Ram feels less weird because it's really just a motorcycle. So, but the Trouble Bubble is like a Mars, the Destro Mars invention. So, seeing the Joes flying it would feel weird. But anyway, that's the Copperhead review. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you next time.